Hello, friends. What happens when a simple vacation turns into a royal love story filled with secrets, pressure, and impossible choices? Maggie is a young American woman with a law degree, but her real dream is to teach children and live life on her own terms. Tired of family pressure and a routine life, she travels to Europe with her friend Sarah, hoping for a peaceful break. But everything changes when she meets Adrian, a charming stranger with a hidden identity. Soon, Maggie discovers that he is not an ordinary man at all, but a prince preparing to become king. Now love, duty, family expectations, and royal tradition collide in a life-changing decision. At the start of the film, we meet Maggie, a young, charming woman living in the United States. Although she has completed a law degree, her heart belongs to teaching, and she works happily with children as a teacher. However, money problems begin pushing her toward a more stable legal career. Because of this, she attends an interview at her father's law firm, even though she does not truly expect to be selected. Later, Maggie meets her friend Sarah at a restaurant, where Sarah invites her on a relaxing trip to Caleria. Maggie is exhausted from her repetitive daily routine and feels that she badly needs a change. For that reason, she agrees to go on the trip. When she returns home and shares the plan, her mother supports her decision, believing that the vacation will refresh her mind and bring happiness. Her father, however, does not approve. He tells her to cancel the journey and concentrate on becoming a proper lawyer like him. He even says that he can speak to the manager of the firm and arrange the job for her before the final decision is announced. Maggie refuses to accept this kind of help and makes it clear that she wants to earn the position through her own ability. Eventually, Maggie's mother convinces her father to allow Maggie to take the European vacation before the interview result comes out. Meanwhile, the story shifts to Prince Adrian, the heir of the small southern European kingdom of Cernia. He is preparing for his coronation, where he will take his late father's place as king. Adrian discusses the arrangements with his assistant, Felix. Later, during breakfast with his mother, Queen Patricia, he talks about the upcoming coronation events. The queen criticizes his careless lifestyle, including leaving the palace secretly and spending time at parties. She warns him that such behavior does not suit a future king. Adrian wants the ordinary citizens of the kingdom to be included in the coronation celebration. Queen Patricia strongly disagrees and says that inviting common people in such a way would go against royal customs. In the next scene, Maggie and Sarah arrive in the kingdom and begin walking through the town square. They enjoy the sights and eventually stop near a fountain. Sarah makes a wish and asks Maggie to join a guided tour group, but Maggie prefers to explore the place by herself. She promises Sarah that she will return to the hotel before dinner. While Maggie is wandering around, a sudden gust of wind blows her hat away. Adrian, riding past on a motorcycle, runs over the hat without noticing it. Later, he comes back, picks up the hat, and leaves with it, which irritates Maggie. A short time later, Adrian returns the hat after having it cleaned. He also gives back a watch that he had accidentally taken. Maggie is surprised and asks him how he managed to clean the hat so quickly. Adrian jokingly replies that he used magic. Their misunderstanding ends, and the two become friendly. Adrian then uses the moment to invite Maggie to meet him near the fountain that evening. As the coronation day draws closer, Adrian still thinks about organizing a celebration that includes the public. He asks the royal advisor for guidance, but the advisor avoids giving him a clear answer. It appears that Adrian may have to give up the idea. When Maggie returns to the hotel, she tells Sarah about everything that happened. Around the same time, a little girl named Katia enters the hotel and tries to sell Maggie a souvenir. A hotel employee attempts to remove Katia, accusing her of disturbing guests. Maggie immediately defends the child and tells the staff that she wants to buy the souvenir because she loves children. At first, Maggie feels unsure about meeting Adrian that evening. Sarah encourages her and accompanies her to the meeting place. After meeting Adrian, Sarah senses that he is a decent person and leaves the two of them alone. Maggie and Adrian decide to go to a cafe together. When they arrive, the waiter almost addresses Adrian as a prince, but Adrian quickly signals him to act normally. He wants to keep his royal identity hidden and be treated like an ordinary man in front of Maggie. Adrian and Maggie sit together and begin talking about their lives. Maggie explains how her father pressures her to become a lawyer. Adrian admits that his mother also places heavy expectations on him. Maggie then speaks about how much she enjoys working with children, which surprises Adrian because he also cares deeply about children. When Maggie asks about his family, Adrian hides the truth and only says that they are involved in business. By the end of their meeting, Adrian has grown fond of Maggie and asks to see her again. The next morning, Maggie and Sarah are amazed when the hotel staff brings them an extravagant breakfast. The staff member also hands Maggie a note from Adrian, explaining that he arranged the breakfast for her. This makes Maggie curious about who Adrian really is. She begins to suspect that his family might own the hotel. However, the staff member refuses to reveal his identity and simply says that Adrian's family is made up of good people. Adrian and Maggie meet again and walk through the kingdom's streets. As they talk more, their connection becomes stronger. Suddenly, Felix, Adrian's assistant, calls him and urgently asks him to return to the palace. Adrian is forced to leave Maggie. The next day, Maggie and Sarah visit a museum. There, they notice photographs of Adrian with Queen Patricia and realize that he is actually the prince of the kingdom. Maggie then searches for information about him online and finds an article describing him as a reckless playboy who has misled many women while pretending to be an ordinary man. Later, Maggie meets Adrian and tells him that she now knows he is a prince. Adrian is stunned. Maggie is upset because he lied to her. Adrian tries to explain that he only wanted her to know him as a normal person first, but Maggie does not accept his explanation. She accuses him of being the kind of man described in the article. Adrian tells her that the rumors about him are untrue. To prove it, he asks Maggie to come with him to a hidden place where some children are being cared for. At that place, Adrian introduces Maggie to Felix and asks her to wait while he plays volleyball with the children. During this time, Felix tells Maggie that Adrian secretly created a foundation to support children. Almost no one knows about it, not even the royal family. As Maggie speaks with Felix, she learns that Adrian spends much of his time helping children and realizes that the article portraying him as a womanizer was misleading. Maggie then meets Katia, the little girl she had previously seen at the hotel, and discovers that Katia lives in the institution Adrian established. Katia opens up to Maggie and says that she has difficulty connecting with the other children. Maggie gently encourages her, and Katia eventually finds the courage to sing on stage. Maggie's kindness toward Katia makes Adrian respect her even more. Adrian invites Maggie to dinner at the royal palace because he wants her to see what his life is really like. Meanwhile, Queen Patricia learns about Adrian's closeness with Maggie and orders her guards to watch Maggie carefully and gather more information about her. After some hesitation, Maggie goes to the palace and meets Adrian there. Adrian introduces her to his mother. During dinner, Queen Patricia and several members of the royal family seem unhappy about Maggie's presence. Their discomfort increases when Maggie openly shares her thoughts about Adrian's desire to move away from some royal traditions. After dinner, Queen Patricia tells Adrian to end his relationship with Maggie. Adrian refuses and tells his mother that he loves Maggie and wants to build a future with her. Later, Adrian goes to Maggie's hotel and asks her to come outside. As they walk together, they confess their love for each other. Unknown to them, a journalist secretly photographs the moment. The next day, pictures of Maggie and Adrian appear on the front pages of newspapers, shocking the public. Queen Patricia becomes furious and begins thinking of ways to separate Adrian from Maggie. Maggie and Sarah decide to leave the hotel, but when they come out, they find reporters waiting for Maggie. They quickly return to their room. Later, Maggie's father calls her after learning about her relationship with Adrian and demands that she return home immediately. Overwhelmed by the pressure and public attention, Maggie becomes upset. At that moment, she sees Adrian waiting for her in the hotel lobby. He asks her to spend a few days with him in Paris. Although Maggie has feelings for him, she turns down his request. The next day, while Maggie and Sarah are preparing to leave, Maggie receives a call from the law firm. She is informed that she has been offered the job and must return to the United States. Maggie feels both joyful and heartbroken. She is happy about getting the job, yet her love for Adrian and her wish to remain in the kingdom make the decision painful. She struggles to choose between her career and her heart. After thinking deeply, Maggie decides to leave Adrian and focus on her legal career. This decision hurts Adrian deeply, but he does not try to force her to stay. Before returning home, Maggie decides to visit the royal palace and speak with Queen Patricia about Adrian's Children's Foundation. The queen, who had assumed that Adrian was only interested in romance and pleasure, learns the truth about his devotion to helping children. This revelation moves her. She regrets misjudging her son and asks Felix to take her to the foundation. After visiting the place and seeing Adrian's work, she begins to understand him better. In the end, she agrees to allow ordinary people to attend Adrian's coronation celebration. While Maggie is packing her bags, the hotel staff delivers an invitation to Adrian's coronation. At first, Maggie does not want to attend, but Sarah persuades her to accept. Meanwhile, Queen Patricia realizes how much Adrian is suffering because of his separation from Maggie. She decides to support her son fully. She also chooses to stop pressuring him and allow him to follow his own path. The queen visits Maggie at the hotel and apologizes for the way she treated her earlier. She then offers Maggie a job in the Kingdom of Cernia, specifically at Adrian's Foundation for Children. Maggie is surprised by the offer. After thinking about it, she decides to stay in the kingdom and work at the foundation because helping children has always been her dream. In the next scene, Adrian attends his coronation ceremony. The royal family is present, and for the first time, common citizens have also been invited to join the celebration. At that moment, Maggie arrives. Adrian is stunned by her appearance and looks into her eyes as she smiles at him. Now officially crowned as king, Adrian expresses how happy he is to see her. He asks whether she intends to stay with him or return to her country. Maggie tells him that she will remain by his side. She also announces that she has accepted the decision to work at his foundation and openly confesses her love for him. In the final moments of the film, Adrian chooses to spend the rest of his life with Maggie, realizing that she represents the sincere and selfless love he had always been searching for.